So I was 25, middle of the night, phone rings. I pick it up, and it's a friend of mine from Sydney, and he breaks the news to me that one of my childhood friends called Chris, who I rode surf boats with, gone to school with, played rugby with, drank plenty of beers with, Chris had died. Just died overnight, and it was...
Was it something that happened, or...?
Yeah, it was a party stunt gone wrong. Yeah, and like some of our close friends were there, obviously. It just out of the blue, and it rocked an entire community. A lot of people knew Chris. Everyone loved Chris. And yeah, I remember putting the phone down, sitting next to the phone, and just thinking about life. I didn't know what to think, and those kind of questions, why am I here? All those sort of questions popped up. And then I thought about Chris's life a lot. In this moment, I just thought about his life, and I wondered whether if he had another chance, another 24 years, he was 24. If he had another 24 years, would he live the same? Would he change anything? Did he have regret? And I don't think he did. I think he would have done the same stuff, was my conclusion. And then I flipped that question on myself and thought, if today was my last day, could I look back at everything and say the same, that I didn't have any regret? And I'd never taken a moment to look at my life from that perspective before, and I just realized instantly, oh my God, I would change everything. I didn't know who I was, didn't know what I stood for. I was literally drifting. I was helping a friend in this odd inflatable movie screen business only because I didn't know what I wanted. I had just been completely influenced, and I'd just been living a life that other people expected of me, which also is one of the biggest regrets of the dying. There's a book called, I think it's called The 5 Regrets by Bronnie Ware, and that's the biggest regret. People say on their deathbed, I wish I'd lived a life true to me, not one that others expected of me, and that's where I was. So in that moment, I thought, okay, if I'm not happy, and I understand that I want to be, how do I become happier? And I thought, I guess it's just through doing things that make me smile. So I fetched a pen and a piece of paper and just began writing down a list of things that I hoped would make me smile. And a lot of it was based on exploring and people and experiences. It wasn't necessarily travel to X, Y, or Z. It was try this, put yourself in this situation. And that was the beginning of a list. And pretty quickly there was a list of 100 things. And the next day, I flew to Las Vegas and married a stranger in Vegas.
So why was that the first thing on your list? I find that so interesting.
Well, I was always an abstract thinker. I was always quirky, and everyone's list is different, right? And it was just always one of those things. It was like, oh, you can do that. I actually did that probably in 2005 or 6. And I remember it was just something. And I was like, well, it was in my head. Why not just write it down? And then you start thinking about it from a goal setting, goal striving perspective. You write something down, you become much more likely to do it. 42% statistics suggest. And then, you start thinking about how to do it. And I was like, well, I guess I'll just fly to Las Vegas. And so I did, and that was such a weird story. But it was so meaningful to me. But here's the thing that not many people know.